In this lesson, we're going to take a look at the functionalities of this particular component. This allows you to add features and more flexibility to your website. So when you click on the help menu, it gives you different options here. So what I want to do is I just want to go through some of those options on the back end. All right, so once you go to component and you go to easy discuss, you notice that you have this dashboard here and it shows you different navigational menus. And I'm not going to go into every single one of them because there's so many different things. I'm just going to cover the core things that you need in order to tweak so that it can work properly on the front end. So let's first start by taking a look at the settings. Now the settings, this is the general stuff here, the generic things that you need to configure. For example, let's go to the workflow. The workflow, this is where you put the form title and a description so that people know what this particular form is about. So I'm just going to type in here video sharing website form. And then for the description, all right, get help with our website, or you can put whatever you want there. And as you go here, most of the default settings here, you can leave those as is. You don't really have to change it. And once again, you can tweak these as you need to. There's some things that you may want and some other things that you may not want to be able to be enabled. So let's just go quickly through this. This is the post. You definitely want to make sure that the RSS is enabled. This is going to allow people to be able to subscribe to your, the forums through RSS feed. And then private posting, you can do this, as well. Now there's some forums that you may want to keep certain things private that you don't want the general public, to be able to have access to. Then you can be able to, make those, private. And you just go through the list here. And one of the great things too about this component is that once you put your mouse over some of the features here, it kind of gives you a little bit more information about it. So just go through each one and see what you want to do with it. And where it says select a register provider here, you just want to leave this as Joomla. That is because we haven't installed any of these other components for you to use that. And then you want to go to the badges. Now badges allows you to be able to give people badges for what they do. It's like a reward system. And then you have tags, you have comments. So what I would encourage you to do is just go through these, and just get a feel for all the functionalities that are part of this component. Once you understand all the features and flexibility that you have here, then you know exactly what you want to utilize and what you don't want to utilize. One thing in password protect, if you want to password protect certain post, you can definitely do that. So the only way for some people to have access to certain posts is for them to be able to have that password for it. And then here you have the site detail, integration. This integration with other third-party component. And that's one of the great things too about Joomla is that it allows you to integrate, different extension, different plugins to be able to build your site. So I haven't really installed any one of these yet, so we're not going to worry much about that. And then, of course, when you click on the discussions, this is going to let you see all the current discussions that are in the forum, and it lets you know the category. It lets you know, if there are any replies. The IP address, the number of hits, the votes, the user that posted that particular discussion. And let's see what else. And then of course you have the AutoPost. Now the AutoPost is another feature that it's nice to have, but I've used this before in one of my sites, but I had to turn it off because when you set up the AutoPost with Facebook or Twitter, there are times when people post things that, you know, it automatically shows up on those social networks. So there's no place for you to moderate what shows up there. So if someone posts something crazy and you have, you know, a lot of fans or a lot of followers, whenever someone posts something, it automatically shows up there. And I've had some people post some surprising things that I just decided on, you know, the site that I was using it on, just to turn it off. But, you know, once you click setup here, I'm gonna just click here to show you. You can be able to put in the app ID and then the secret here. You know, it's real basic to get set up. But like I mentioned, you know, there's something that you know, it's personal preference. You know, you can decide to put it on or you can just leave it as it is. All right, and then you have the categories here. You can create multiple categories. That allows users to post. Now, it's really good for you to have different categories. So when people come on the site, they know exactly what they're looking for and they can be able to post in their respective forms. And then you have the tags. Tags are a great way for people to find what they're looking for. In other words, when you put tags, it allows them to click on that tag and get all the discussions that are for that particular tag. So for example, if it's something about automotive, all the posts that are about automotives or whatever tag that you set up, those posts are going to show up, which, you know, which really helps out. And then you have the users here. You can be able to see what the users, you know, who they are and you know, the positions that they have. And then you have the roles. You can create roles and determine who can do what, which also connect with the ACL. Now the ACL, the access control, it lets you see who has certain permissions to do what, you know, what people can see and what they can do. So let me just click here on the register. And here are just the basic rules or permission setting for this one. So all those that are registered, they can, here's what you can set permissions for them. Do you want them to add new reply? Do you want them to add new questions? These are for people who are registered. What do you want them to do? You can pretty much, if you don't want them to have certain permissions, you just come here and you can just check yes or no. And once you do that, they won't be able to do that particular function. And you can do pretty much the same for any group here, which is really great, because there are times when you want certain group to do something, you don't want another group to do something. So this kind of gives you a good idea. And then you can check out the report subscription. Let's take a look at the badges. All right, the badges are a way for you to reward your members. So for example, whenever someone signs in, a new member, or based on something that they've done, you can give them certain badges. And let me just click your motivator, for example. Okay, this is a default one here that the person that get this motivator badge, their voted replies 100 times. So once they've replied 100 times, then they automatically get this badge. And the same thing too for different badges here. This just add another level of excitement and productivity to the site, because it allows for members to, they want to participate, they want to get involved, to know that, okay, I'm getting this reward. And from achievers here, it's going to show you all the people that have achieved that specific badge. So there's so many here. You can create new, you can add new ones. And let's go to post types. All right, the post types, it lets you people on the front end be able to post, for example, whenever they want to create a new post, that post can be a task, it can be an issue, it can be a bug, or if you want that to be a question, or if you want it to be something else, you just have to click on new, and you can type in what you want that particular post to be about. So right now there are already 3 default ones, but you can add more. And then we'll take a look at points. Okay, points, this is really big here. This encourages users to really get involved. So let's take a look, for example, let me pick one here. Read a discussion. So let's click on that. You can award certain number of points every time that someone reads a discussion. You can award them, 10 points, 20, 40, whatever it is. I'm just going to put 10 there. And you can select here, which has already been selected, read a discussion. And it's set to publish yes. This means that every time someone reads a discussion, they're going to get 10 points. And you can build a system with the points where once people get to a certain number of points, which leads to the ranks, they can achieve certain ranks. And by achieving certain ranks, it makes people want to be more involved on the site, which is really great. So for the new member here, as you can see, the starting point is 1 or 50, and then the junior members up to the expert. You can change these to whatever you want it to be, but this is the default. So you can change the number of points that once a person reaches this level based on the points that they've received, then they automatically become, they get the status as a junior member, senior member, expert, or whatever you want to change that to be. And I would really encourage you to utilize this point part of it, because people like to feel important. So when they see that they're ranked number 1 on the site, or they're ranked number whatever, it encourages them and makes them want to rank better. And you can even run a contest with the points that whoever gets the most number of points for this week. You can give giveaways, which is another great way for you to utilize and get people involved in the site. So that's really great. And then email activities here, you get to see all the activities with the emails. So that's pretty much an overview of the component on the back end. So now let's take a look at the front end of the site.